Nintendo.
Hey everybody! Before the next episode of JG Review starts, I have an important announcement. The past few weeks I've noticed something, and that is...
Hey Josh, I found something awesome!
Sid, I was in the middle of an important announcement.
Oh, okay. Look what I've got. Now this is pretty cool.
Sid, that's a leaf.
No, see, this is a magical leaf.
That's wonderful, Sid. As I was saying, something I've been noticing is...
Look!
Sid, is that an HD camera?
I told you it was magical.
Oh my god! Hello everyone, and welcome to the first high-definition episode of JG Reviews. Now I know what you might be asking, but Joshua, you said in your top 5 that you couldn't render in high definition, so how am I watching this? Well, the simple answer is, I got a better computer that can actually let me render in high definition. And if you saw my Tomb Raider review, you already know that I can render in high definition. So, this is what the show will look like for the foreseeable future. And if I'm going to be in high definition, I should probably wear a different shirt. Ta-da!
Hey, Josh, now that you're in HD, can you put on some actual pants?
Yeah. Now with that out of the way, let's look at today's game, Animal Crossing for Nintendo GameCube.
Hey, hold on one second. I thought you reviewed retro games. I'm pretty certain that the GameCube is not retro.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, Sid. Let me explain. Yes, Animal Crossing for the GameCube isn't technically a retro game, but the game itself is technically a retro game. See, Animal Crossing was originally released as Dobutsu no Mori, also known as Animal Forest, on the Nintendo 64 in Japan in April 2001. It was never released outside of Japan, but instead was ported to the Nintendo GameCube in all international markets under the name Animal Crossing. I'll get into the differences between the two games later. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Animal Crossing, let me explain. Animal Crossing is a social simulator with very little preset plot or mandatory tasks. And because of the size of the gameplay, I'm going to save that for later. So first, let's talk about the story. Players assume the role of a new resident to the town. The gender and looks of the character depend on answers given to a cat named Rover, whom you meet on the train the character takes to the town. At the beginning of the game, a character named Tom Nook greets you and gives you your first house, with a mortgage of 19,800 bells, the in-game currency. Unfortunately, you don't have enough money for it, so you are given a part-time job with Nook, which helps pay off some of the debt. Once the debt is paid off, the house is expanded. And that's the basic goal of the game, to help out the town and your neighbors, and make the house larger by paying off your mortgages. Now let's move on to the other smaller topic, which is the presentation. First, let's talk about the graphics. Even though they aren't up to the standard quality for games released at the time, the size of your town and the amount of color makes up for it. The design of each town is unique, and some towns may feature things that others don't, such as lighthouses and little islands. There might be times where a tree might get in the way of an item, but you can just get rid of those anyway. Now, about the sound in this game. The way that the characters speak is also pretty unique. You can choose the way they sound, either by a little bloopy sounds or what they call animalese, which is the characters closely saying the actual words but with an animalistic sound to it. But one of the big things that helps make this game so relaxing and enjoyable is the music. The legendary Kazumi Totaka served as the game's sound director. Kenta Nagata composed background music for the fields, Toru Minagishi for the indoor areas, and Shinobu Tanaka for the events. The soundtrack for Animal Crossing is one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time, especially the music for the title screen. I actually use this music from the game as my alarm each morning, and it always puts me in a good mood. Overall, the presentation for Animal Crossing is fantastic, and it complements the gameplay perfectly. Speaking of the gameplay, holy crap is there a lot to talk about. No matter how long I talk about it, there's going to be something I'm going to miss. So, before I go into detail, let me show you the trailer that got me excited for Animal Crossing.
A real-time game that's happening every second of every day? It's Animal Crossing for the Nintendo GameCube. Get your own place and become part of a thriving community. Meet your neighbors, chat with them, or help them by running errands. They'll reward you with cash, food, or even things to decorate your new home. Furnish your home any way you want, or pay off your loan and buy a better one. Choose different activities for different days. Catch insects, go fishing, or dig up fossils. As the seasons change, so will your activities. Up to 4 players can join the fun, trade with them, or arrange scavenger hunts. For a change of pace, hop a train to visit another village. Find new items and tasty fruit. There's always plenty to do, and something is always happening in Animal Crossing. We'll see you there.
Okay, now let's dive into the gameplay. The game is played in real time, observing days, weeks, months, and years using the GameCube's internal clock. Many real-life events and holidays span the year, including Independence Day, Halloween, the Harvest Festival, Thanksgiving, and Toy Day, Christmas. Other activities such as fishing tournaments and early morning fitness classes occur on a regular schedule. One of the notable features of Animal Crossing is the high level of customization available, some of which affects the outcome of the game. Your house can be furnished and decorated. You can purchase and collect items from Tom Nook and place it anywhere in your house, as well as change both the wallpaper and floor designs. You also determine your town's name and anthem, as well as some of the residents' catchphrases. A number of specialized tools are available for other activities such as fishing and insect collecting. Special items, such as fossils and paintings, may be donated to the town museum. You can choose to socialize with the other animal residents by engaging in conversation, sending and receiving letters, bartering, or playing hide and seek. Residents may move in and out of your town depending on your actions. Now, with all this stuff, it seems like Animal Crossing would be pretty crazy, but it isn't. This is one of the most relaxing games I've ever played, and sometimes it's nice to just load up a town and play for a couple of hours after a long, stressful day. There are entire websites and wikis dedicated to each individual part of the game, whether it be the types of bugs in the game to which villagers have a birthday in March. It's crazy how involved and devoted players are for this series. Now, let's talk about the differences between Animal Forest and Animal Crossing. The Able sisters and their shop are not in Animal Forest, thus designs are not available. The holidays from Animal Forest are either changed or removed in Animal Crossing. In Animal Crossing, 3 items could be stored in a container, such as dressers, wardrobes, etc. In Animal Forest, only 1 item can be stored in those kinds of furniture. In Animal Crossing, any house you start out with had a wooden box that had a college rule journal on top. In Animal Forest, this is not included. So this means this feature was either not included, or both items have to be bought from Nook. In Animal Crossing, the player could store multiple songs in radios, stereos. In Animal Forest, only 1 song could be stored. There is no museum in Forest, thus there is no Blathers. The faraway museum still exists, and fossils can be sent there for identification. In Animal Forest, Mayor Tortimer was not a character yet, so you could not obtain any gifts from him, and there were no weeds in Animal Forest. Now, the last 2 things I'll mention have to do with 2 accessories. The first is the exclusive island that you can travel to via the GBA cable. A character named Cap'n ferries you to the island for free. An exclusive animal roams the island, whom you can become friends with. The island has an exclusive type of fruit, coconuts. You can also decorate a small communal beach house and fish at the shores. On leaving, you can download the island to a Game Boy Advance and give fruit to the villager, who drops bells. If you then return to the island, then you can pick up the money that has been dropped. You can also leave the island or tools to use, such as a shovel or net. The second thing is the exclusive items you can get by using the short-lived e-reader.
Oh my god, you actually bought one of those things?
Shut up! Listen, I'll explain the e-reader in song.
Wait, what? Oh no.
2002, Nintendo's idea. We should make a way to play our games on cards. So they released the e-reader to gamers. But it failed, Nintendo bailed, and they were scarred.
But it was kind of a weird concept. You had to scan like 3 separate cards just to play Mario Brothers.
So then when they ported Animal Crossing, they made it hard to find the cards with the rare things. So annoying.
Using the cards, you can get items and even some clothing patterns. And as I said before, the awesome cards are hard to come by, which means you have to use other means to acquire them. Thus, we move on to the last part of our review, the cheats.
Now the awesome thing about Animal Crossing is it is loaded with cheats. One of the cool things about this game is the inclusion of NES games. Some of these games were really hard to get. Some were, as Josh mentioned, only available through the e-reader. A few of these games are actually pretty tough to get in real life, such as Wario's Woods. But 2 of the games, The Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Bros., could only be acquired via a hacking device such as GameShark. Now, GameShark is a whole other story. We won't talk about that just because that could go on for a while, but I may do a future episode of JG reviews about it. All the rest of the NES games can be obtained by telling Tom Nook a specific code, which also goes for most of the other rare items, a lot of which are Nintendo related, such as the Triforce from Zelda to the Starman from Mario. Another cool thing are the golden items, which you can get from collecting all the different species of fish, bugs, keeping the town clean, or by burying a shovel in a hole that contained money. You can easily find lists that have the passwords you tell Tom Nook for special items online, and you can also use a password to obtain 30,000 bells, which can help you pay off that mortgage quicker. Another not-so-secret thing is KK Slider, based off of Kazumi Totaka. On Saturday nights, you can find him near the train station, and he'll sing a song for you, based on your request. And at the end, he'll give you the song so you can listen to it in a music player. As with the passwords, you can find his list of songs online. One in particular is KK's song, which many Nintendo fans know as... well, I'll just let you figure that one out. In my opinion, I think Animal Crossing is a great game, whether you're playing it fair or playing it my way.
And with that, we come to the end of our review. So, what do I think of Animal Crossing? Well, this is actually the game that made me want a GameCube. I saw that commercial and I got really excited. So when I finally got it, my brothers and we played it non-stop. Animal Crossing has gone on to have sequels for the DS, Wii, and the 3DS. It even got a feature film. Of course, it was only released in Japan. But to me, the GameCube one will always be the best and the most enjoyable. If you like simulation games like Harvest Moon, and you haven't tried Animal Crossing, I highly recommend it. But be warned, it can get rather addicting. And if you haven't played a game like this, I say at least try it. I think everyone can like the music and enjoy the graphics. It was a fun game when I was 8, and it still is nearly 10 years later.
So you've reviewed 3 difficult games and now a relaxing one. So, what's next for JG Reviews?
Well, next time we're going to be looking at a Super Nintendo classic. But for now, I think I'm going to go to sleep. Thank you for watching, everyone.